like, overall I got this big picture, but in certain categories, I still got work to do. And I would imagine that for most of you, there's a category or two in your life that you just aren't quite sure what to do. And you don't quite have a vision for it, and you're not quite sure what your goals should be. Or you set some goals, but you can't seem to accomplish them. And maybe for some of you, it's an overall thing. You just don't know what to do with your life, right? Because you grow up, and when you grow up, you're not thinking about this stuff really, right? When you're like 10 years old, just doing life, you're not like, what's the goal? What's the vision for my life? You're just trying to win stuff as a guy, right? So for me, I was an athlete, and so I just knew I wanted to beat these guys in the race at the field day. I wanted to kick their butts. That's all I knew. So when I beat them, I realized I'm pretty fast, and so I got into sports and I ran track, and I started realizing I'm really pretty good at track. And so in 7th grade, I was like, I want to beat all the other 7th graders. I beat them, and then in high school, I was like, I think I want to beat all the other high schoolers. I'm a 9th grader. I want to beat all the seniors. And by the end of 9th grade, I was beating all the seniors. By the end of 10th grade, I was like, I want to go to the state track meet. I made the state track meet. I was like, I want to win the state track meet. The next year, I won the state track meet. I finally graduated. I was like, I want to go to college and run track. So I go to college and run track, and I go, I want to win my first race. I win my first race. I want to beat everybody in this conference. I beat everybody in the conference, right? And I was like, I want to go to the national championships. So I go to the national championships. The next year I was like, I want to win the national championship. So the next year I won the national championship. After that I was like, I want to break the record, the national record. So I broke the national record, right? I still have it to this day, 30 years later. I hold the national record because they changed the race. They don't run it anymore. So I was it's dead. Woo! 55 meters indoor hurdles. I'll be the fastest that ever did it. They run the 60 now. That's how old I am. But after that, I was like, I want to run professionally, and I want to go to the U.S. championships. So I go to the U.S. championships. I get to run with the best of the world. I was like, I'm gonna run professionally. So I started running professionally. I was like, I want to go to the Olympics. So that was the goal. Like, I want to go to the Olympics. And all along the way, I was like, I know what my vision is, and I know what my system is to get to the next level. Because when I had one goal in mind, or one vision for my life, be the best hurdler I could possibly be, it was really easy to set clear goals and clear systems to accomplish the task and keep moving forward, right? That was easy. Until I graduated college and had to pay for life myself and keep training. I don't know if you know this about track and field, it's not the most lucrative sport on the planet. In fact, you don't make any money unless you win events and races. Well, I was the 22nd best hurdler in America. If I was the 22nd best basketball player in America, I would be loaded right now. But as the 22nd best hurdler in the country of America, I got a pair of Nikes. That's what they paid me. And so I had to be the top 3, and I couldn't make it to the top 3, so I had to get a job. Well, I had a teaching degree. The only job I knew to get was to get a teaching degree. So I'm trying to go to the Olympics, and I'm teaching 5th grade as a first-year teacher. And first of all, I sucked as a teacher. I didn't know what their grades were. I've told you this before. Like, parents would ask me, why was my kid ever beat? And I would say, I'm not kidding. What do you want your kid to have? They would say an A, and I would say, deal. Please tell them to shut up. You know, like, that was pretty much. I don't know why they have a B minus. I probably lost their paper. That's probably what happened. And so anyway, I'm struggling to do the school thing and make money. I made $28,000 that year. I was like, I'm basically rich. I thought that's the best money I can make. I looked it up, by the way. $28,000 in 2000 is $53,000 today. So even by today's standards, it was not a lot of money, right? So I was like, I'm trying to make ends meet and survive, and I just couldn't train. I was training from 6 p.m. till 11 o'clock at night, coming home, going to bed, getting up, trying to teach these kids all day, go back, train again, keep it going. I got to my 3rd national championship. I qualified for the indoor championships. I was on a good track, but I was like, I'm worn out. I just can't do this. And so I quit. I quit the thing that I was chasing so that I could get a paycheck. And if I'm honest, I look back on that a lot of times and I think, God, what was I doing? I should have quit the job and figured out a way to make it work. But in that season of my life, I had no vision for my life. I had gone from like this total vision of what I wanted to do with my life to like, I'm just surviving. I'm just trying to make a paycheck. I'm just trying to do this. And it wasn't that I was lazy. And most men, they don't fail in life because they're lazy. You're probably not lazy. Most of us struggle in life because we lack clarity. We don't know what we want to do. We don't know why we're doing it. And so we're just doing our best to survive, pay the bills, make everybody happy, and not feel like a failure. And that's where I was. I didn't have any clarity. I had all this clarity for all these years. I know what my goal is. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I know how to get there. I know the system. Just work harder, grind, hit the weight room, get against better competition, travel to different places, like put myself in a winning position, eat the right foods, train the right ways, and I could do it. And then I hit a snag, and I lost my vision, and I had no clarity for my life. And it was just do the best I can. And I was doing a job for a paycheck. You ever been there before? Just doing a job for a paycheck? For the first time in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I had no clarity. I was busy, but I didn't have purpose. I felt like I was drifting through life. Just like, you know, I still had friends, I still had stuff, I still had a girlfriend at times, and then I didn't at other times. I was just unsure, right? And vision can be difficult to find, right? So I wanted to be awesome, but I had no clarity on what that looked like. And so tonight, what I want to do for just a minute is I want to let you have little mini conversations. I'm going to throw questions out to you, and I want you to wrestle with the clarity in your own life tonight. We're going to talk about, like, how do you fix things? How do you change? How do you get clarity? You know, my own marriage, my relationship with my wife, we moved from Georgia to here, and our finances went like wonky. We didn't know how to keep the same lifestyle we had here, because there we could buy things and have nice things, and here the same price bought less, right? We could buy 8 hot dogs there, and we could buy 1 hot dog and share it here. That's kind of how we felt, right? And so we just got sideways with our finances because we were trying to maintain what was, but we didn't have the margin to live at the same standard. And so for the last few years, we've been like, we make money, where's it going, right? So we sat down at the beginning of this year in January, and we said, let's get clear on what our guidelines are. And we sat down, we said, here's our goal, here's what we're gonna do, here's where we can do it, let's get on the same page. And I'm telling you, from this January, to even right now today, we have made unbelievable we look at each other like, how do we do this? You know how we did it? We got clarity. We got clarity on being on the same page, clarity on what we want to accomplish, clarity on how we can do it. We put a system in place, and wouldn't you know it, it works. Because we had clarity, we had a system, and we had a vision and a goal, and we're making progress toward it. We feel so great right now. We're looking at each other like I think we're more in love because we have a better system. Like we're not fighting. There's no money issues. There's none of that. We got on the same page. We got vision and clarity, and we made progress towards it. That's what I want for you guys tonight, to be able to say, what do I do? Like, how do I do this, and how do I get some clarity? All right. So let me give you this last thing, and then I'm gonna throw it to you. Last thing is this: what's vision to begin with? What is vision? Vision is really just a clear picture of a preferred future. Having vision for your life is a clear picture of a preferred future. What do you want in the future? What's the picture of it? And do you have a clarity around that thing? So what do you want? And now, a lot of you go, well, I have lots of categories of that, because some of you are retired, some of you are just starting out. Where in the process are you? It could be vision for your relationships, it could be vision for your finances, it could be vision for your business, lots of different visions, right? Which we'll get to in just a minute. But vision is clarity in one of those categories, or maybe in your life as a whole, of a preferred future. All right, so we're going to work towards that tonight. When you're making a vision, you want it to be be specific. You don't want to just say, I need to eat better. All right, that doesn't help. You need specifically, how do you need to eat better? Right? You don't want to just say, well, I need to be a better husband. What the heck does that mean? Right? What you need clarity, specifically how do you need to be a better husband? I need to communicate better with my wife by asking her questions to find out what she really likes. Whatever. You got to clarify what your vision is for your marriage. And then you need to write it down and you need to choose things, okay? So here's the first question. If you don't do that, if you don't have a vision, you're going to end up drifting through life. So the question for you to start with, and I'd say pick 4 people around you and have this conversation. Just grab 4 people. If you get left out of a circle when this happens, just take that as your sign to leave. Just butt in, okay? Just butt in, okay? Here's the first question. In what areas of your life right now, do you feel like you're drifting instead of deciding? What are some areas where you think you're drifting a little bit instead of deciding on those things? Are there areas like that? Go ahead, take a minute. That's the question. Where are you drifting instead of